Hello, welcome back to Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Jay Palton and I'm here to talk you through the daily news update. It's been another busy day of Everton for largely all the right reasons, which is really nice. Going into last night, there was a report, I think it was the Daily Mail or Mail Sport, or can't quite remember, but anyway, they were slagging off the stadium, which is really funny to kind of go to sleep on. Saying that it's nowhere near ready, it's been building for 2 years, all these things. It was really strange. And then BBC did another article basically just saying how great it looks, giving like a sneak peek of it. And yeah, I think for a large part of that project it was kind of like ahead of schedule. It's maybe catching up a bit now, and yeah, it might be 6 months late or whatever, but I think you take that at the start of any project like this. So I thought that was really strange, and I read that thinking, this just kind of sums it up really. It's going to be another kind of pretty crap week. Thankfully that does not seem to have happened though. The big news from today is that Everton, according to Fabrizio Romano, since then the Bobble, Sport, Peter O'Rourke, should I say, Alan Myers, they've all come out and said that Everton have agreed a deal to sign YOUSSEF CHERMITI from Sporting Club de Portugal, which is really interesting because he played him on Saturday. Maybe they're thinking about airfares or something, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think like what a lot of people have said is it's really nice to see a transfer just come out of nowhere. I had never heard of this bloke. I'd never heard us linked to him, never heard anyone else linked with him, and then just to come out of nowhere and Everton have supposedly agreed a deal to sign him is just mad. I think Ojogo in Portugal said that the player knows nothing about it. Record in Portugal, which I think is a more reputable source, they've said that €15 million clause has been agreed. They want a 20% sell-on clause. We're offering 10. I mean, every penny counts, I suppose, for us at the minute. So, but I just hope we can sort that quickly, and we can get him through the door and get him in the squad and see what he's all about. But yeah, super interesting. You know, when I see a player who's 19 years old, 6'3", 6'4" kind of size, profiles really similar to DCL, profiles similar to Toure as well, but not as well rounded. I kind of got that sense from the data. This is an aerially imposing forward who scored 3 goals last season, a couple of assists as well. Not too bad for someone who's playing in a bit of a beleaguered Sporting team these days. Only played I think 16 matches as well, so not bad at all. But obviously, I think kind of what we all thought was this was definitely someone who's not as ready-made as Barlow, Toure, but also costing like half the price. Zach Lowe, Portuguese football expert, who I know quite well, he spoke about how CHERMITI is, as I said there, lanky, aerially imposing, unselfish, and someone who came into the Sporting side, did well to begin with, kind of phased out a little bit, and he's now kind of their third choice striker. Obviously Victor Gyökeres, who we were apparently trying to sign in the summer, he's gone there, so he'll be playing on Saturday, you'd imagine, and that meant he went down to a third choice striker. Everton literally don't have a third choice striker, so we can't turn our nose up at anyone really at the minute. Our third choice striker is Damari Gray or Lewis Dobbin or whoever. So yeah, I think this looks like a really, really good deal. Profile similar to Calvert-Lewin, which is important for me, and I think it means we can now look at bringing someone in like Kelechi Iheanacho or Shea Adams, or a player who, I mean, Shea Adams is relatively similar to Calvert-Lewin in some ways, but certainly like Iheanacho, who just would not have worked as a straight Calvert-Lewin replacement. He needs to work off a foil. This CHERMITI fella looks like he could be that potentially, so it might open other doors for us, which is really good. I was worried that we're going to abandon this process entirely, but no, I think it's good. It seems that Everton are finally starting to work like a normal club who will draw up a shortlist with a few players. If they can't get one, they'll just move on to the next, and let bygones be bygones, move on. But we shall see. I think people are tweeting now saying like, okay, maybe it isn't as close as it was, and I am slightly worried that Fabrizio Romano's come out with this as an exclusive. It's not a here we go. It's not like medicals agreed or anything like that. You do kind of worry it's a little bit one of those where he's been asked to sort of come out and say this, bleak it out, and then maybe another club might be interested. Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but I've supported Everton for a long time, and I've seen signings far closer than this. I mean, I'm pretty sure Leroy Fair was like in the tunnel like at Goodison, ready to make his debut, and his transfer got pulled. So Dan Juma in January, all these sorts of horrible things. We'll just see. I'm really excited though. He looks like a really interesting player, good profile as I say, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. A couple of bits of news which kind of fell by the wayside a little bit. Clubs in Saudi Arabia and also Lille in France are supposedly interested in Andre Gomez. I mean, I was just thinking Lille must be skinned to be played like 30 games for them last season, did well, and for a club who sell their best players year on year, they didn't even want to bring him back for, you know, you'd imagine he'd go for 4 or 5 million. Everton would take that. But we'll see. Saudi Arabia coming in form as well is very on brand, I think, of, you know, someone that they go after, I think. But yeah, Deitch saw 45 minutes of him. He didn't look very good. He's not my favourite player, that's for sure. So if we can get, as I say, 5 million for him, I think that'd be brilliant business from Everton's perspective. Olympique Lyon also supposedly interested, according to Mail Sport, on Jean-Philippe Baman. I can't see that at all, to be honest. The club who are going to be wanting to get back into Europe next season, or the Champions League, should I say. I don't see why they'd go after Jean-Philippe Baman. Obviously, he's injured because he's not done anything, so that naturally means he must be injured. Not played a minute of pre-season, hasn't been in any squads, hasn't seen any pictures of him. He has to be one of the worst signs in Premier League history. 25 million quid. He was signed for 90% of the money we sold our best player for in Idrissa Gueye, or one of our best players anyway at the time. He played a couple of games. He's then just been injured literally ever since. The game he came back for against Palace, we conceded a last minute equaliser, so it wasn't even like we could have won that game. Gabaman's come back now. Didn't work like that either. I couldn't name you one thing he's done in an Everton shirt other than getting trouble off the pitch. He's been to like 2 or 3 clubs now on loan. Honestly, what a mess. I feel terrible for him because he's had a couple of really, really bad injuries, but by the same token, this is just so Everton, because I actually think he could have been a really good signing, but whatever. We move on. We hope we get a bit more luck with the next signings that are coming in. The Athletic are also saying that Lewis Dobbin, it looks like he'd go out on loan, but that was definitely kind of concrete going to happen. And then the last few weeks, he's maybe changing Sean Dyche's mind, which is really interesting because, you know, Sean Dyche won't just give a young player a chance willy-nilly. I think when Stanley Mills went on loan the other day, people were saying, oh, no young kid's going to get a chance. And it's like, no, Stanley Mills is just middle of the road. He's not one of the best players in the academy. He needs game time elsewhere. It's the Cannons, it's the Dobbins. It would have been the Shea Samuels if he didn't leave. It'll be the Lewis Warringtons, all these players who you're going to look at and see how they get on. And yeah, it's interesting. I think I said the other day, I reckon it'll be a case of see where we are by the first or second game. If we get a winger in, he'll go. If not, he'll probably stay. But good that he's considering keeping him about, because I think he could be an exciting player for us. But we shall see. And then just finally, some other news. Looks like James Tarkowski will be unveiled as Everton's new vice captain. I spoke about this the other day. I just find it bizarre how Everton, you know, we've not had an official vice captain for years. I can't remember the last time we had an official one. I think it was Leon Osman. I don't think we ever officially said it was Baines, or it was Dean, or it was Pickford, or it was Davis, and all this. I just find it bizarre. But if we officially come out and say it's Tarkowski, then sound. I imagine it would just be a case of Dyche probably just doesn't want it to be a goalie. Although I feel like Heaton was he not captain at Burnley, and then it was me. I'm really not sure, but yeah, bit of a stranger. Maybe he just maybe he's changed his mind on that. Maybe he doesn't want a goalie to be captain anymore, and maybe he just thinks, you know, Pickford's going to be a leader no matter whether he wears an armband or not. Onana will be, Calvert-Lewin will be when he plays, Decore, all these players. But yeah, an interesting one anyway, but we shall see whether they come out with an official announcement on that, or whether they just, he just rocks up and he's wearing the armband against Fulham, which would just be stupid as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know, we shall see. But yeah, big news today is obviously about YOUSSEF CHERMITI. We'll see what happens there. Fingers crossed, everything crossed that this is going to be the move of the summer for us, and then we can maybe go out and get another forward, another couple of players, and we'll be looking all right. But I'm counting hypothetical chickens before they've even been born, never mind the eggs they're going to lay. Yeah, no, I'm not too sure I'm going with that, but yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Nice one.